What's going on, y'all? Man, listen. So today I had an incredible, interesting day. One start off with an amazing prayer call. Got some good sleep. But I started off with a good prayer call. We talked about the scripture Acts 22. Talked about the journey that Paul had to go through in his journey from Saul to Paul, and the power of being a citizen. Talked about his time when he was persecuting the people that were following Jesus, and how he was all in because this is the way that he was taught. He believed heavily that he was doing the right thing. So we had a real good, great discussion. So about an hour and a half. It was a lot of great perspectives were given from that conversation. One of the things that stood out for me was that I'm thinking about right now, you know, in light of the day that I've had afterwards. Who you were yesterday is not necessarily who you are today, and the remorse and the things that you got to go through to show that, that you're repentant of it. It's not just about you got to prove it to yourself. You got to prove it. Sometimes you got to prove it to man. And we say that, no man should judge me. No man should have the right to hold me against something that I did in the past. But I mean, in all reality, that's what happens. I could be okay with that. I could be okay with that, man. I have no choice but to be okay with it because that's the truth. Um, but when a man is truly, when I say man, I mean man or woman. When a man or woman is truly repented of the actions that they have taken against other people, they'll show it. And sometimes they may have to pay their life for it. And I believe Paul, for what he's done when he was in the life of Saul, he definitely had to do that. But I encourage you, go back and look at Acts 22. Acts in the scriptures, look at Acts 22, and let me know what you got from that. Leave it in the comments. Leave it in the inbox. I would love to build on that part. But what stood out for me, what I didn't realize, that me studying that particular scripture today, I had to go to court today. I didn't have to, but I wanted to go to court in support of a friend of mine's that actually was my long time ago. It was my a cellmate of mine's. But I promised him that I would come to court, help support him because he was a good dude. He was a good dude, and I understood his situation, that he had made a choice. And I'm gonna go back to this choice word, right? Choice is gonna be the big word. Accountability is gonna be a word that you're gonna hear from me probably during the duration of this message. Choice. And listen, we can be held accountable for the actions that we take of who we are at point A, but it doesn't necessarily define who we are today. I say that because got a friend today, went to court, and he got his sentence today. And usually when I hear about this type of sentence, it's like, oh man, such and such got, all these years. All right, cool. It doesn't really hit you. But when it's somebody that's, close to you, you have great conversations, you understand who this person is or who they are and where they're going, and you understand the remorsefulness. You understand. I'm talking to people that understand they selly, right? and you hear the facts of the case and the situation, partner of mine just got 50 years today. He's in his 40s, early 40s, early 40s. But he just got 50 years today. Got to do at least 39. Choice. Not because his crime wasn't that his biggest crime was that he didn't take the action that was necessary to get away from or to deter the actions. That was his crime. Biggest crime. Biggest crime was you didn't take the actions. And it was somebody that was close to him, man. Somebody so close to him, they could be like his skin. I'm going to put it like that. The actions taken. You got somebody in your life right now, and they're toxic. You got somebody in your life right now, and they're toxic. Or you got people in your life, and they're toxic. They call themselves your friends. They call themselves your lover. They call themselves your husband. They call themselves your wife. They call themselves your family. They call themselves, they got your back. In all reality, they don't have your back. Not when they're committing something that will negatively affect your life. Your life. I hate seeing people throw away their life. I hate seeing me throw away my life for something so avoidable. Certain things are avoidable. His crime is because he could have avoided the situation. But because he didn't have the strength or the fortitude, he was in a situation that he should not have been in. And many of us can find ourselves in these predicaments. And all I can see, man, I'm literally sitting in court and I'm listening to the victim's family, and I'm listening to him, and all I could do is sit there. I'm not trying to hold it like a G, but I got tears. I'm feeling emotional. Choices. Paul, I'm gonna go back to the beginning. Paul was who he was, but until he got on that road to Damascus, his life totally changed. Sometimes jail or prison could be that road to Damascus, and it's a long hell of a road, B. It's a long hell of a road, yo. That road that it takes for you to get back on track, to get right, to my guy has a very good heart, man. But listening to everything, you know, you can have a great heart, but be naive to the things that are happening around you, and you know they're wrong. But you find yourself caught up in this situation because you're paralyzed for whatever reason. Maybe you've been mentally abused, maybe physically abused, maybe you feel like this sense of loyalty that we all talk about. And if you ain't from the street, if you're from the street, loyalty means something totally different for a person that's not from the street. When I grew up, that wasn't never the case. It's just you just don't tell. It's just certain things you don't talk about. It's if you roll with them, you stole with them. You ride with them. But as you get older, you become a man or you become a woman, and you become responsible for just your family and life. You start to understand that there got to be a division. Loyalty ain't, you could be loyalty. That's when you understand that loyalty to a fault will cost you your life. It'll either cost you jail, prison, or it'll cost you the casket. It'll cause another family being tragically altered by a decision that you didn't or couldn't make. Because you didn't have the strength or courage. And I'm upset because now we got another life. Whether black, white, Asian, Hispanic, it don't matter. Another life. Now one got to go to prison. And others, The family got to deal with the repercussions. Somebody else is laid in the casket. Why? I done had all certain funerals this year. I had a couple amount of funerals for some close friends this year. And I'm 48. So, somebody that's in my age group and they die off of something that's just far left, not because of just health. You kind of give health, but just out of nowhere, randomly, tragically passing away because of car accidents and something so horrific, man, by just walking outside and catching a bullet. Them kind of things are happening right now, and I can't believe it. I can't believe, but when it hit home, and you gotta, and then at that time you gotta speak on it because it resonates more with you. A lot of us don't feel it. Many of us don't feel it until we are personally impacted. We don't speak up enough. We got this sense of loyalty, or this sense, this bullshit code. You got this BS code about what loyalty is supposed to be when we're talking about friends. Man, your first loyalty, first and foremost, go to yourself and God, or God and your first. Excuse me, to God and you. That's where the first loyalty go. Your first loyalty, it got to go to God, your maker. Then it go to yourself, then your family. You got to be loyal to yourself. I feel better when I'm within a community or a friendship. Man, them friendships and community, they'll get you killed, get you locked up, get you thrown into prison. And then you know what happens? You go in the courtroom, you look around, guess who's there? What up, family? You know who's in the courtroom? Nobody. The homies is going to be there for me. They'll be there. Man, even if they in the courtroom, man, you think they going to hold you down for years? 10, 20, 30 years? You think? All right. Barely show up for court. Your family will barely show up in court for you. That's crazy. But that's what it is. And let's be real. All right. I'll take it. You're going to hold the loyalty down. You're going to do the time. Who's going to pay for your jail time? Oh, you going to work in the kitchen for that? You going to work in the yard for that? You going to do what? You going to do what? You going to do what? You going to work where? You going to work for that paper. What? 30 cents on the dollar? For an hour's worth of time? 20 cents? Tell me about it, man. I did it before. What are we talking about? What, you gonna hit up your old lady for to fill up your commissary, your family, your people? So your people gotta pay for your indiscretion. And God forbid if you don't got the right people, right connection, just forget about you, yo. If they die, there ain't nobody putting nothing on the books, man. Y'all need to be more responsible for yourselves, to yourselves. Loyalty to yourself. Ain't nothing wrong with being loyal. But if you're loyal to a fault, that's your problem for you. Because when you're doing that time, that's your bid. That's the consequences of your actions. So whoever watching this, you better be prepared to stand on your business. I don't care if it's your wife, your husband, somebody that's so close to you, like your mother, whatever. You better be ready to do that time. And depending on the type of crime, you better be ready to handle the classifications that they give you. Can you handle that max? Can you handle the big pen? You go and drop that body. What you think it's going to cost you? It's going to cost you some time. Let alone it's going to cost you your soul. It may cost you your soul. Some people don't get that back, man. What's my soul worth? Your soul is worth everything. That's why the devil wants it. The enemy wants it. It's either you can give it to the devil. These flies around me. You can either give it to the devil or you can give it to God. You make that choice. The money, the cars, the women, the homes, for girls, the men. None of that stuff. All that stuff is superficial. The clothes, all that stuff is materialistic. The flyers, the best, most lavish trips, all that stuff is very superficial. It really don't matter. All that matters is the treasures that you store up in the kingdom of God. And you thought, I mean, God forbid you put yourself in a situation like my brother, you know, he gotta face some time. But I know where his heart is. I know where I understand. He got to give it to God the whole time, the whole way through. And I'm praying for him. I can't say I'm going to be with him on that whole bit. I don't know. I don't know what the next 2, 3, 4 years. I'm going to ride with him right now because I'm with him because I told him that. So I'm going to stand on that business. And pray that, you know, the time comes sooner when he's able to come home and, you know, get his life on the outside in order. It's a life on the inside when you're locked up, and it's a life on the outside. It's totally different. Two totally different rules and regulations that you gotta abide by. For those who've been behind that wall, understand what I'm talking about. And for those that are out here, keep enjoying it, man. This flexibility and freedom that you got, man, you better cherish it. You better talk to your kids more. You better help your kids do the right thing. Because when they get under the thumb of the law, it's an expensive process. It's an expensive process. It's crazy, yo. It's crazy. You know, it's different when you actually see it and when you're living in the moment of someone else going through. Living in the moment of somebody else going through their transgression, somebody else going through their time of need, man. When God presses you, man, you don't know if he's going to press you in the middle of that bedroom. He's going to press you in the hallway. He's going to press. You don't know if he's going to press you behind that jail cell. But when he press you, you better embrace. You better embrace him. Because he's calling for you. He's calling for all of us. Thank you. How you doing? You better have some water in there. Huh? You better have some water in that truck, that van. You better. Take it easy. Have a safe one. Keep getting on these Amazon packages over here. But yeah, man, this is like a little quick public service announcement, man. I'm a little overwhelmed right now. I'm very much overwhelmed, man. I'm processing that my partner got to do 50 years. Oh, he got hit with 50 years. All because, really? He didn't stop the situation. He could have avoided it. And he actually had a good judge, man. He actually had a good judge. I know you'd be saying, like, how could you have a good judge? Listen, the state got to give you something. They got something. They got to make it fair. Some make it unfair. But, this particular situation, it's horrendous. Shouldn't even got caught up in the situation. It could have avoided it more, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. It's the things that many of us have to live with. I just pray that each and every individual, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, that You making those certain corrections in your life now. I pray that you making the certain corrections in your life right now. That you making that necessary decision. Help you prevent time loss. Find yourself now. All the extra loyalty, man, that stuff is BS, man. You ain't in the street. You're not in the street. You got a different code, man. And I'm sick and tired of people telling you, oh, no, the code is the code. Listen, I'm 48 years old. Stop playing. If you ain't been behind that wall, we ain't having the same conversation. Because the people that listen, it's a different conversation. And people, you walk in that thing and people say, yo, you ain't supposed to be here. You ain't supposed to be here. What you doing here? You gotta tell them a story about why. Because you made a stupid decision? Standing on what? Business? What business? You weren't even supposed to be there. Now you gotta link arms with people that you would never link arms with. You gotta link arms with people you never would have ever linked arms with. They the real deal. Some of them, they belong there. You supposed to be visiting. Yo, you not supposed to even be there. Certain conversations I don't like having all the time, man, because, you know, I like talking positive. I like talking, you know, real energy, but there's some real life things that go on in my life, and I'm sure in many other people's lives that, yo, we got to speak on this stuff, man, now. We got people standing on the front lines right now. We in a political climate right now, and people talking between this candidate and that candidate. With the conversation they should really be having, like, do you know who your mayor, who your city councilman is? We should be having conversations about the people that is in your Congress. Do you even know who your delegates are in your city, your town, the state? Y'all worrying about the president. Yeah, I know we in the climate we in. It's taking up big news. That's big news. But y'all need to be looking at little news. Look what's going on in your immediate neighborhood. You're looking at big news. Turn on your TV, man. Find out what's really going on. Or the media. Stop it. Do your research. Find out what's going on. Find out the people that are changing the laws. Find out the difference between a prosecutor and a senator and somebody that's in the White House. There's a difference between what they can and can't do. Find out the difference between a businessman or a businesswoman and somebody that want to occupy the big house. Find out what those credentials are. I think sometimes we just distracted and worried, or some of y'all distracted and worried about the wrong things. I ain't gonna say all of us, because I ain't distracted. My eyes are definitely on the my eyes is on the prize. You know, they haven't always been. I haven't always been woken. Oh man, I got some bugs out here. I'm about to go back in the house. I'll walk around for a little bit. But yeah, I'm a little taken by that situation. So I say all that to say, make a decision. It's your choice. It's your choice. A judge will give you your time based on the choices that you make. Life will give you your worth or value off of the choices that you make. Your parents will reward you or not reward you off the choices that you making. Your mate, wife, hopefully wife or husband, right, will make a choice, or based off your choice will give you the best that they will ever give you. Choice. The power of choice. Don't put yourself in a situation where you can't make the choice and somebody else has to make the choice for you. Because if they have to make a choice for you, man, you screwed. You screwed. You are screwed, screwed, screwed. That is not always the best. Unless you're a child and you have no choice. You're a child, you don't have no choice. But when you're an adult or you're close to being an adult, that's a choice. When you like 14, 15, 16, man, choice. Right now my son's 12. He ain't got a lot of choices. My 25, 26, 20-year-old or 21, and they got a choice. I'm not gonna be held responsible for the actions that they take, to a certain degree, as a parent speaking. But if they go out here and do something stupid, choice. They're gonna hold the blunt of it, just like I had to. You reap the benefits of your reward. This is my favorite one. You got to be willing to live and die by the decisions that you make, whether they're good or bad. When they're good, reap the benefits. When they're poor, then you got to reap the benefits of poor decisions. Choice. And I'll leave on that note, man. My name is Dre, the bread talker. I ain't gonna lie, I am overwhelmed right now. I am overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed, Choice, man. Got to make a choice. Paul made a choice not to be Saul anymore. And what did that get him? It got him his life back. It got him forever remembered. But he paid the price for it, all of it. Either way, you decide which one is your heart. What choice are you going to make today? Whether it's life, business, family, relationships, economics, jobs, whatever. What choice are you going to make today? What choice are you going to make today that's going to make a difference? That's going to matter. We all got to answer to something. Make a choice.